Imagine you're tossing a coin. You're sure it'll land heads because the last 5 flips have been tails. But the coin has no memory, each flip is truly random. This simple trap, thinking fast and jumping to conclusions, is what Daniel Kahneman unpacks in his groundbreaking research. What if everything you trust about your gut feeling is flawed? There's a hidden battle inside your brain between a speedy, automatic thinker and a slower, more deliberate one. And this clash shapes everything you believe, decide, and act on. But which one's really in charge and when? To understand how we think, Kahneman splits our mind into 2 superheroes or villains. These 2 systems race and wrestle inside us, shaping every snap judgment and slow calculation we make. One classic experiment Kahneman describes involves a sequence, 2, 4, 6. Participants are asked to guess the rule behind this series. Most quickly assume it's even numbers increasing by 2, System 1's fast guess. But the actual rule is simpler, any increasing numbers. System 2 would have double-checked, but it rarely gets invited to the party. This shows how System 1 jumps in first, often rough and ready, leaving System 2 waiting in the wings. Think of your brain like a sports car and a diesel truck. System 1 is the sports car, fast, instinctive, effortless. System 2 is the diesel truck, slow, powerful, needing plenty of gas to get going. Your brain loves the sports car, it's fun, quick, and saves energy, but sometimes you need the truck to haul you through tough terrain. That's how your intuition can lead you astray when the situation demands deeper thought. The payoff, when you learn to spot System 1's snap judgments, you engage System 2's slower, more logical processing to check your biases. Kahneman's research shows we often overtrust intuition, but just a hint of mindful inspection can prevent costly mistakes in investing, relationships, even simple daily decisions. Your gut feeling feels like a superpower, but Kahneman shows it often just paints a convincing mirage. Let's peek behind the curtain at some mind-bending illusions where your intuition leads you straight into a trap. Take the famous Linda problem. Linda is described as a young woman deeply concerned with social justice. Participants are asked which is more probable. Linda is a bank teller, or Linda is a bank teller and active in the feminist movement. Many pick the second, more detailed option, even though it's logically impossible to be more likely. This shows how your intuition latches onto coherent stories, not facts, creating a striking but false sense of truth. Imagine you just heard about a plane crash on the news. Suddenly, your brain overestimates how dangerous flying is, even though statistics say it's safer than driving. That's the availability heuristic in action. Vivid, recent events flood your mind and skew your risk radar. Kahneman calls this your brain's faulty shortcut for assessing probability, making terror stories loom larger than they should. Even experts fall prey to overconfidence, Kahneman reveals through intricate studies in finance and medicine. They trust their judgments more than the data warrants, leading to disastrous bets or misdiagnoses. The key insight: confidence isn't a reliable signal of accuracy. It's a seductive illusion that can steer you wrong if unchecked. Ever noticed how the first number you hear sticks to your thoughts like glue? Kahneman calls it the anchor effect, a sneaky trap your mind falls into every day without you realizing it. In a mind-blowing experiment, Kahneman asked participants to spin a rigged wheel with numbers 1 or 65, and then guess the percentage of African countries in the UN. Those who saw 65 guessed way higher than those who saw 1, even though the wheel was obviously unrelated. This reveals how even random numbers anchor our estimates, shaping judgments invisibly yet powerfully. Anchors creep into bargaining and shopping. For example, if you're told an old coat costs $400, a $150 price tag suddenly feels like a bargain, even if it's overpriced. Your brain doesn't evaluate value in a vacuum. It's tethered to context. So anchors wield unwelcome influence over your wallet without your awareness. Here's the good news. Kahneman says awareness dilutes anchors' power. Slow, deliberate thinking lets you question those first numbers instead of accepting them as gospel. In practice, pause when you hear a figure that feels sticky. Ask yourself, why does this number feel believable? Could it be a trap? That's your System 2 at work kicking in. If you hate losing more than you love winning, you're not alone. Kahneman dives deep into loss aversion, our brain's ruthless tendency to fear losses so strongly it distorts every choice we make. Kahneman tested participants with a simple gamble. A 50-50 chance to win or lose $100. Most refused even though the expected value was zero. The pain of losing $100 loomed larger than the thrill of winning it. That emotional tilt is loss aversion, wired deeply in your brain's survival circuits to avoid losses at all costs, even irrationally. This bias isn't just about money. Investors hold onto losing stocks too long, hoping to avoid realizing losses, which can lead to worse financial outcomes. Risk-taking is muffled when people overweight possible losses and underweight gains, leading to cautious, suboptimal decisions, a pattern that echoes across health, career, and personal choices. The trick Kahneman suggests is reframing losses as potential gains or viewing decisions in a neutral light. For example, thinking, "I'm paying a fee" versus "I'm losing money" changes your emotional response dramatically. This mental reframing gives you back control over your fears, allowing you to make choices less shackled by loss aversion. Kahneman isn't anti-intuition, he just warns you about its blind spots. Under the right conditions, your gut can be a genius, but only if you know when to trust it and when to slow down. Firefighters, chess champions, and seasoned nurses develop intuition that chops through complexity like a pro. Kahneman shows that this expertise depends on consistent, high-feedback environments where rapid pattern recognition is accurate and reliable. Their gut feelings aren't magic. They're honed from thousands of carefully observed repetitions, making System 1 a powerful ally, not a liability. Think of intuition like muscle memory built from sweaty drills. When you do something over and over with real consequences, your brain tunes its automatic responses, filtering noise and spotting what truly matters. Kahneman calls this skilled intuition, a sharp contrast with lucky guesses or stereotypes that frequently mislead novices. Yet without this foundation, fast thinking is dangerous. Your brain fills gaps with stereotypes or leaps to conclusions that feel right but aren't. This is the role of System 2, to catch these errors, challenge your gut, and correct your course. The real power is learning when to trust intuition and when to switch gears into mindful reflection. Remember that coin toss from the start? Your brain System 1 was ready to bet on heads after tails flipped 5 times, even though each toss is independent. Kahneman's genius is showing us that our brains don't always play fair, tricking us into patterns that aren't there. But now, armed with this knowledge, you can spot when your fast-thinking mind is pulling a fast one. Next time you face a big decision, pause. Ask yourself if you're anchoring on a number, falling for a vivid story, or fearing losses too much. Try to slow down, invite System 2 to the conversation, and watch your choices transform. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.